We were recently called to fix the dampness on this particular wall for an office apartment around Surulere, Lagos State. So for most of the dampness projects we usually get is usually for residential area, but for this one is for a business apartment. So what we did first was to test the dampness before we start work. We realized that most of the down part of the office apartment is wet and soaked with water. So we test both inside and outside and we start work immediately. The first thing we did was to start chipping off all the affected area. We chip off all the plaster on the affected area, and we also make sure we clean the place because this is an office apartment and it's inside. So as we also love to do, we love to keep the place we work very clean. Immediately we finish doing that, we also start drilling because this particular project we are using both Dampmaster, Crystal Coat and Costa 2K. So we are drilling the holes so that we'll be able to inject the chemical DPC, which is Dampmaster. After drilling the holes, we started applying Dampmaster, but because we did not bring our injection gun, we have to improvise on this particular project. So we started injecting the Dampmaster here. So you can see how we are injecting it. The next thing we did was to make sure we block all the holes on the wall, because while we were removing the plaster, we actually made some holes in the wall. So we have to plaster that place so that when we are applying the chemical, which is Crystal Coat and Costa 2K, those places will be treated as well. So after that, we make sure we wet all the surface to achieve an SSD, saturated surface dry surface, which is very ideal for you before you can apply all these chemicals. So we started mixing the Crystal Coat with water. Yes, Crystal Coat is meant to be mixed with water. So after that, we applied the Crystal Coat and then we came back on another day, that's after 48 hours, to apply the Costa 2K on two coats. After we apply the Costa 2K, we advise the customer to make sure they wet the surface after 24 hours and also after 48 hours to ensure the Costa 2K cures properly. So after that, we came back to check the dampness. You can see the dampness has drastically reduced, and the readings we are getting now is because the day we went there was still very close to the day we applied. So once we leave the surface for a while, the dampness would have even drastically reduced more than this. So if you are somebody that has dampness in your place, call us or send us a DM for us to fix this for you.